Okay, so right here I'm using a MAC's Fluid Line in Dip Down with a standard angled brush, and it's a softer brush so it's not as stiff as others. Then I'm taking a baby wipe and I'm just moistening it so it gets a little damp. Then I'm going to dip that into the product, and you want to just pick up a little bit because this is an eyeliner, so you're not going to want to go too harsh on this. So I'm starting not quite at the front of my brow, but just maybe a centimeter or two in, and I'm just underlining the shape of my brow, and then I'm extending it down. Then I'm just going to take whatever is left over onto the brush and extend that to the front. And then I'm just feathering in the color so it doesn't look like a straight harsh line. So I'm going back in with some more product and I'm going to do the same thing to the top of my brow. And I start this at the end because that's where I have my sparse hairs, is at the end of my brow, so I just like to fill that in. And again, I'm not going back into the product, I'm just taking whatever is on the brush and just blending it in with my hair. So I'm just feathering the color down to blend it in with my brows. Okay, so now I'm taking my MAC 208 brush, and this is a stiffer angled brush. And I'm taking this brow powder, it's from MAC but it's discontinued, so any brown brow powder will do. So I'm just going to go over that liner that I just put down on my brow. It's going to set that gel liner and also fill in the areas that still need some coloring in. You want to start this color at the end of your brow, and then that's where you want the darkest part of your brow to be. You don't want really dark brows from front to back, or beginning to end, what I mean. And then again, I'm just feathering the color, not going back into the product, but just feathering the color that's already on the brush. And there is the almost finished brow, so you can tell the difference between the brow that's done and then my one that's not done. So now I'm taking my Studio Finish concealer. This is a lighter concealer. I forget which color it is exactly, but any concealer will do, preferably one that matches your skin tone. And I'm just taking my e.l.f. Concealer brush and I'm just going to outline my brows just to make them look really clean. I like to underline the bottom part, and then after I outline it, I just feather it down to blend it out a little bit. And then I'm going to outline the top of my brow as well. So same thing, just outlining the shape, just to clean up any mistakes that I may have made, and just making them look really clean. And this is what your brow should look like so far. And I'm just going to take my finger and just blend out the rest of that concealer. You can also use a beauty blender. Sometimes I use a beauty blender instead of my fingers, but your finger usually warms up the product and it's easier to blend. And I'm just blending. Okay, so now we have one brow down and on to the next one. So I'm just repeating the same steps. I'm going to underline my brow with the fluid line in Dip Down with that same brush. And then for this brow, I'm a little bit more sparse on the top, so I have to outline this one a little bit more, I guess. So you can see once I outline it, there's a pretty big gap in there that I'm going to have to fill in. And this brow is a little bit more sparse and a little thinner than my other brow. So I'm just creating the shape with the dip down fluid line, and then as you can see, I'm pulling the color down and just filling in those areas. And just wiping away a little bit of a mistake that I made. And so I'm just going to continue filling them in with the rest of the product that's on the brush. And then going back in with my brow powder and my MAC 208 brush, I'm going to do the same thing and fill it in with the powder right on top of that fluid line that I just put down. And again, I'm going back with my concealer and I'm going to clean up any mistakes that I may have made and also just make my brows look a lot cleaner. And also this step is optional. You don't have to do this. A lot of people don't like to put concealer, but on an everyday basis I usually don't, but for tutorial sake I will go ahead and do so. So just continue to blend until that concealer is all blended away and not just a straight harsh line over your brows. And this is what your finished product should look like.